Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am here with a good client, customer of mine, John. Flew into town. Of course, look at what he bought for me. The Rockport Lyras that you saw briefly in my room. Okay, and of course, I came to set up his entire system. Right now, you're looking on your screen at the components that he bought for me. Everything was personally owned by me. And as part of growing my brand, I'm starting to get on an airplane, actually. I'm starting to fly into customers' homes to help with the setup and give them the Jay's Audio Lab listening experience, okay? First and foremost, I want to thank Rockport Technologies for coming into my home, setting up my Lyras in my room. I learned so much from the guys, and this knowledge transfer was quite instrumental for me so that I can do a phenomenal job here in John's home. John, welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
Tell my audience, how is it that you found me?
I just found Jay on YouTube. I was pretty new to the hi-fi world, and I was looking for some reviews on equipment, and I went to his YouTube channel, then to his website, and signed up for a one-time consultation because I needed some information on some different brands, and Jay gave me some incredible advice about how to look for equipment. And then I learned about how Jay works and was pretty impressed with the fact that he is completely independent of brands. So I trusted that I would get an honest opinion about where to go with different things, which I hadn't found at some dealers and things like that.
Okay, well, thank you for that. I'm glad that you feel that way about me. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that John understood about what I have been doing this year, as part of my business, is that I own everything that I sell. I get in bed with all these high-end brands all the time. Everything that you see in my channel has been purchased by me. So my recommendation comes from ownership, not from reading articles, not from reading magazines. I want to make sure that I am as unbiased as possible. And so, of course, when he sees the Lyras on my channel, he read what the Lyras are about, and he had to have them. So he said, Jay, this is the speaker I've been waiting for. By the way, this is his first system ever. Yes, this system behind us is his first system ever. He's never had a system before, not even like a, more affordable system or entry-level system. This system is his first system ever. So he read up on the Rockport Lyras. He felt they were a special speaker. He wanted something special. And I think that after spending about 4 or 5 hours with my friend Carlos, who is right now behind the camera, and John assisting, we worked on these Rockport speakers for about 4 hours. And to my surprise, I am here to be very honest, okay? And Carlos repeated this to me yesterday. I feel that they sound better in this room than they did in my room. I feel like the speaker spread its wings much better. There is a lot more of a livelier feeling to the system. The bass is very tight. At one point, what is it that you told me? We were looking for the right spot for the bass.
Yeah. It was really the cleanest, the tightest, and the most palpable bass that I could imagine. And I have some history in car audio where the boominess of the bass is just, it's the worst. And there is zero of that. And I was really shocked by that.
So one of the things I try to explain to John is not all bass is created equal. We are oftentimes fooled by this robust, deep bass that we tend to hear in like home theater environments, mm-hmm. and we tend to hear this in car stereos, but that isn't really faithful to the source. That isn't really faithful to the music you're playing. That isn't really true to the music you're playing. The Rockport Lyra, to me, did a phenomenal job at letting them hear how articulate the bass can be. We play different tracks, and then all of a sudden I will play a track that has tremendous bass, like Chris Stapleton's Death Row. You guys have heard that song before, and it exploded into the room, and he was like, So there is bass. So he understood at that
Yeah.
point in time that the system is simply conveying whatever amount of bass information the track has, right? It's
Yeah.
not trying
Yeah.
to add more than what it should. And so after that, we sat down, we listened for like easy 10 hours yesterday to the system, at
Yeah.
the very least, right, John? And we ended up at the spot that you currently see. If you can take a quick view on where we landed. Okay, this is the spot that we felt gave us the best balance for the speakers, okay? The room is approximately the size of my room, 16 wide by what, 20 deep?
Yeah.
More or less?
17 by 20.
17 by 20. If you hear a little bit of echo, that is because the room is not treated. But I'll be very honest, I feel like I would pump my brakes when it comes to doing acoustic treatments in this room. The only thing I recommended and you agree on is to put some drapes behind,
Yeah.
right, to kind of help with the reflections, because we do know that is a thing with sound. And so if he's able to put some acoustic drapes, I just feel like, and I could sell him acoustic panels. I carry my acoustics, but I have to be so sincere and let him know that, you know, I wouldn't touch it. It's sounding so phenomenal. It has so much bloom, spaciousness, detail, and the speakers vanish in the room, believe it or not, that I'm afraid of killing that by buying acoustic panels. I'm afraid of mitigating the beauty that we are listening to.
Yeah, I mean, I've been super happy with the way it sounds, and I'm a little reluctant to do too much to that. Other than I do think some drapes in the back would be helpful. Yeah,
that's the only thing we should do. But let's go over the components, okay? So let's talk about what we have here. So we have a Boulder 2160, an amplifier that I have had for quite some time. Okay, so I brought this over for him. I like the 600 watts of pure Class A that this amplifier is bringing to the table. I think it's a tremendous match, I should say, with the Lyra. There is a lot of clarity with this amplifier, a lot of detail, and it manages the bass quite well. It controls the Lyra with ease, okay? So let's move over to the Reference 6 SE, a preamplifier that I've owned several times on my channel. You've seen this many times. Phenomenal sound. One of my favorite preamplifiers for the money. Moving down to the Griffin Calliope DAC. This is Griffin's current DAC. I actually like how easy it is to set up this DAC. There is even an invert phase button so that you can change the phase of the music as you listen to different tracks. In case you do not know, not all tracks are created equal. Some of them are recorded with inverted phases. So pushing that button on the remote control will help you discover tracks that actually sound better with an inverted phase than the normal way or the way we typically listen to. Now that's a function that the Rev 6 SE also has, by the way, on the remote control. Then moving on to the power conditioning. This happens to be the AudioQuest 5000 power conditioning, okay? The only job of this power conditioning at the moment is to feed the amplifier, the preamplifier, excuse me, and the DAC, the Griffin Calliope DAC. We have, for a music server for the time being, okay, we have a MacBook Pro. This is a MacBook Air. Okay, that is the current setup as it stands. However, might as well tell my audience that the man loves the system so much that he's going to be buying an MSB Select 2 with the director that I have coming in. So I am telling you right now, going from this music server, going from this connection of your MacBook Pro to the Calliope, as good as it is, and it sounds phenomenal. And if you told me tomorrow, Jay, I'm happy, I don't want to change, I totally get it. But when you move into a Select 2, 4 chassis, dual power supplies, control unit, and the director, it's going to completely change the performance of your system. Plus, your desire to also do a Takeo Extreme music server, which I'm telling you,
at some point,
I'm telling you, this is only going to get better. Right now, in my opinion, I am hearing a beautiful presentation. As I said, I like this room with these speakers, but when you put those two in this system, it's 20-30%. I mean, the improvement is vast. Like it's just a whole new level. So I'm excited to see that when the time comes. How do you feel overall, like in your opinion, the experience working with me, dealing with me, since we connected over the last, 2 months, I would say, we've been working together to put this together?
So a couple of comments. I think when you're dealing with items that are not inexpensive, obviously, not just these, but a lot of what many people are looking at, and you call up somebody like Jay. I mean, I never met Jay. There's a leap of faith there, but I can tell you, this is one of the most trustworthy guys that I've ever met. And he came up here with his whole team. He organized all the shipping, shipped everything up here with a detailed communication. And we just met yesterday. Friday night we picked him up at the airport. But he came in and basically took care of everything. So if someone's looking for a turnkey type of service, where you have an expert with expert technical knowledge, expert ears, because he hears things that I can't even hear, he will come in, he will put it all together, and you can be as involved as you want. I was pretty involved.
You were learning a little
in the setup, but I was learning a lot. Or you could just sit down and when it's all done, hit play. And that is probably my main comment. It's incredible customer service, if you will.
Thank you.
With just a very trustworthy guy who really wants to put the best system that he can together for you, regardless of what the budget is. And
that's one thing I'm trying to bring to my audience, is to build systems at different price points. My long-term goal is to offer cost no object reference systems. I consider yours one of those, and then trickle it down to more affordable systems with more affordable speakers, amplification, preamplification, so that I can try to hit everyone's budget over time. Everything you see here, every single component, I must say, I am not a dealer for any of these brands. Not a single brand I am a dealer for. These are brands that I have collected, components that I have collected throughout my time doing this, and I so happen to have all the necessary pieces to assemble a system for him. Right now, I have other incredible components in stock to build another great system. So that's the cool thing about me, is the fact that I'm not tied or married to any brand. I go after brands that I believe in, that are quality brands, such as Rockport, Audio Research, Boulder, Griffin, and I stand behind them because I truly believe they deliver phenomenal performance. Of course, yes, the conversation about, it's too expensive, it's out of my budget. I can't help you with that, but I can do the best I can to bring you a quality performance at your budget, okay? Yeah. That's something that I have to try to do, and I understand many of you want me to play with more affordable gear, and I promise you, I will continue to try to do so to make sure that I appeal to as many people as possible. Okay, so there you have it. John, please do me a favor. Do not cover this beautiful backdrop. Everyone on the comment section of these short videos that I have released recently is loving your backdrop. All right. This is just absolutely beautiful. Take a look at the backdrop. I mean, there are deer that come through those woods and come to feed. I love the way this system looks when you enter the room, the feel that you get in this room. I wish I had it. Unfortunately, my room is like a prison cell. Okay, it's walls, like many of you many of you guys have the same setup, same rooms, right? Completely concealed to the outside world. This to me is so attractive.
And we talked about that because I was considering doing a dedicated room in a one of the bedrooms upstairs. Yeah. And then we set this up, and Jay said, "John, you cannot put this in a closet in a bedroom upstairs
with this view.
So-
With this view, it's a crime to do this with this view.
And the sound has worked out.
Yeah, it has worked out. And you know what's funny, and I have to be very honest here with my audience, I was afraid because I saw images of your room, the pictures you sent me.
Yeah.
And I knew there was a lot of echo, and there is. And I know some comments, some of you are probably typing a comment right now about this, but I wish they were here to understand how good the system sounds. And when it was all said and done last night, Carlos even sat in that chair while you went to grab coffee.
Yeah.
He even told me, you know, Jay, I really think he should just leave the system as is and just put the drapes behind.
Yeah.
And that's it, man, because it sounds so good. And I agree with him.
Yeah.
So the result is more than I expected.
Yeah.
Far better.
Yeah, me too.
To the point that I'm saying it, and I'll repeat it again, I feel these Rockport Lyras sound far better in this room than they did in mine. Okay, so now you can get out there and start typing comments about Jay's audio lab really sucking and being a terrible room, and this guy doesn't know what he's doing. No, Jay's just being honest. Okay, and I tell it like it is. That's all I got for now, guys. Thank you for that support, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.